Verb. Sot kemi ndaj foljet. Adverb are words that modify a verb. For example, he drove slowly. How did he drive? An adjective, he drove a very fast car. How fast was his car? Another adverb, she moved quietly, slowly. The aisle. How slowly did she move? As we will see, adverbs often tell when, where, why, or under what conditions something happens or happened. Adverbs of frequency ending in ly. However, many words and phrases not ending in ly serve as an adverbial function, and an ly ending is not a guarantee that a word is an adverb. The words lovely, lonely, motherly, friendly, neighborly, for instance, are adjectives. That lovely woman lives in a friend's neighborhood. Kind of adverbs. We have adverbs of manner, adverbs of place, adverbs of frequency, adverbs of purpose, and adverbs of time. Formation of adverbs. Most adverbs are formed by adding ly to their corresponding adjectives. Examples are kindly, kind, slowly, slow, hardly, hard, sweetly, sweet. She is very beautiful, adjective. She is beautifully, adverb, dressed. She is a strange person. He behaved strangely. Point to be noted. If the adjective ends in y, replace it with an e and add ly. Adjective happy, adverb happily. Angry, angrily, lucky, luckily. If the adjective ends in able or le, replace the e with y. Adjective probable, probably. Gentle, gently. Humble, humbly. If the adjective ends with ec and add lu, basic, basically, economic, economically. This rule, however, has an explanation. The adverb form from public is publicly and not publicly. We have adverbs of manner. Adverbs of manner say how something happens or is done. Examples are happily, angrily, slowly, carefully, fast. She walked slowly. John drove carefully. The soldiers fought bravely. Position. Adverb of manner go in the end position. She sang well. He talked loudly. She walked slowly. He managed skillfully. She speaks English very well. An adverb of manner modifying an adjective or another adverb normally goes before it. She is seriously ill. I was terribly busy. Adverbs of place. Adverbs of place tell us where something happens. Examples are upstairs, here, there, nearby, everywhere, in and out. She looked for him everywhere. Please come in. They bought a house nearby. He lives here. The boss has gone out. He was seen nowhere. Certain adverbs of place, both movement and location. Example, ahead, abroad, overseas, uphill, downhill, sideways, indoors, outdoors. My parents live abroad. They climbed uphill. She fell backwards. Position. They are nearly placed at the end of a clause. She took him out. They all went away. We went ahead. The children were playing upstairs. He jumped out. They can also come at the beginning of a clause. This is common in literary writing. On the top hill, an old castle stood magically. At around the corner, there is a big banyan tree. Out he jumped. Upstairs, the children were playing. We have also the adverbs of frequency. Position, explanation, and point to be noted. Explanation. Adverbs of indefinite frequency tell us how often something happens. Common examples are always, ever, usually, normally, often, frequently, seldom, never, etc. I am never late for office. Have you ever been to the US? I often work late. Position. Adverbs of frequency go in the mid position. They are normally placed after the auxiliary verb and before other verbs. When there are two auxiliary verbs, the adverb goes after the first. I always get up early. I am seldom late for work. We frequently visit them. I often read comics. I have never seen a dolphin. Points to be noted: usually, normally, often, frequently, sometimes, occasionally can also go at the beginning of or end of a clause. We visit them occasionally. Often, we trust the wrong person. Always, ever, rarely, seldom, and never can go in the mid position. They never admitted their fault. You can always trust him. However, always and never can begin imperative clauses. Always look before you leap. Never ask her about her age. Adverbs of purpose, adverbs of degree, and adverbs of certainty. Adverbs of degree. Adverbs of degree tell us about the degree or extent of an action, quality, or manner. Examples are almost, little, enough, much, to, partly, full, so, rather, quite, nearly, just, to, hardly, scarcely, and very. She is very beautiful. I am extremely sorry. She is quite strong. They are fully prepared. Position. Adverbs of degree normally come in the mid position with the verb. They are placed after the auxiliary verb and before the other verbs. If there are two auxiliary verbs, the verbs come after the first. He had hardly begun. My work is almost finished. I just asked. She has hardly realized what she is doing. He is entirely right. She was rather busy. An adverb of degree qualifying an adjective or another adverb normally goes before it. She is very beautiful. Those mangoes were very sweet. I am extremely sorry. Enough is an expectation to this rule. It is placed after the adjective or adverb it qualifies. You are not old enough to marry. This is good enough to be true. Adverbs of certainty express how certain or sure we feel about an action. Common examples are certainly, definitely, probably, undoubtedly, clearly, obviously. He is undoubtedly a great leader. There is clearly something wrong. She is definitely taller than you. Adverbs of certainty usually go in the mid position. They are placed after auxiliary verbs and before other verbs. When there are two or more auxiliaries, the adverb goes after the first. He is undoubtedly a great leader. She will probably come. It will certainly rain this evening. I am certainly feel better today. You have definitely been working too hard. Expectations, perhaps and maybe, are expectations to this rule. They usually go at the beginning of a clause. Perhaps she will come. Maybe you are right. Adverbs of time. Adverbs of time and definite frequency tell us something that happens. Examples are today, yesterday, now, all day, not long, for a while, since, last year, sometimes, frequently, never, often, yearly, etc. Shall go there today. You must get up early. I have seen him before. Let's start now. Position. Most of them go in the end position. I met him yesterday. He died last year. They are leaving for England tomorrow. He visited us daily. I haven't seen him lately. Initial position is also common. Yesterday I met him. Tomorrow I am leaving for the US. Expectations. Finally, already, soon, and last can go in the mid position. She has finally got a job. They soon realize their mistake. Still and just can only go in the mid position. I just asked. He is still working for the same firm. Note that the mid position adverb is placed after the auxiliary verb and before other verbs. When there are two auxiliary verbs, the adverb normally comes after the first. Adjective or adverbs. Confusing cases. Some words ending in li are adjectives and not normally adverbs. Common examples are costly, cowardly, deadly, friendly, likely, lively, lonely, lovely, silly, ugly, and unlikely. She has a lovely daughter. Don't be silly. It was a lively discussion. Some adverbs and adjectives have the same form. For example, fast, hard, high, late, near, straight, wrong, daily, yearly, and leisurely. It is a fast car. A fast car can go fast. He drove fast. Hard work pays. You must work hard. He is an early riser. I got up early today. It isn't easy. Take it easy. Spelling of adverbs. We spell correct, correctly, easy, easily, lucky. Here it passes to luckily, happy, happily, respectable, respectably, uncomfortable, comfortably. Other ones are, for example, problematic, problematically, hectic, hectically, public, publicly, rude, rudely, live, lively. Accountable, accountability, predictable, predictably. Please note that not all the words ending in li are not adverbs. Elderly, friendly. Here we have the order of the adjectives. If we have more than one adverb in a sentence, we have to put first the verb, then the adverb of manner, then of place, then of frequency, then of time, and then of purpose, like the order of the adjectives. Comparison. There are 3 degrees of comparison in adverbs: the positive, the comparative, and the superlative. The adverbs form their comparative and superlative era eceton, more and most. Adverbs that end in ly use the words more and most to form their comparative and superlative. For example, early, earlier, earliest, fast, faster, fastest, hard, hard, harder, high, higher, highest, late, later, latest, loud, louder, loudest, near, nearer, nearest, soon, sooner, soonest. We have adverbs: angry, more angry, most angrily, brightly, more brightly, most brightly, dimly, more dimly, most dimly, freely, more freely, most freely, gladly, more gladly, most gladly, heavily, more heavily, most heavily, loudly, more loudly, most loudly, quietly, more quietly, most quietly, sweetly, more sweetly, most sweetly, terribly, more terribly, and most terribly. Badly, worse, worst, far, farther, farthest, far, further, furthest, little, less, least, much, many, more, most, well, better, and best.